You're picking up in the mic.
Yeah. So before we were talking about Michael Jackson.
Little Michael Jackson.
You had some thoughts about MJ?
Well, you said that his doctor killed him, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the story, right? That Michael Jackson had stress and he couldn't, like, he had trouble falling asleep, and he had this doctor like prescribing him, because like while MJ was sleeping, like his doctor would like administer like I think he administered like benzos or something, like for sleeping.
I know that he died from some painkillers, but like the doctor prescribed that to him. But so you're saying like his doctor killed him, as like you're pointing him like he wanted to kill him, or
I mean,
he happened to kill him.
the official story is that the doctor accidentally killed MJ.
Right. Yeah. See, that's the story that they want you to know.
But I think
What do you think, Bill?
that Sony wanted him killed because of the things he was saying about the music industry, and he was exposing Sony. Like there's a video of him like speak. We'll watch it later, but like, what are your thoughts on that?
That's what I was gonna say, actually.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, he was about to expose what was happening with like musicians, and perhaps some more things as well. He was gonna expose like some deep information that was like corrupting to the organization, and coming from Michael Jackson, it's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
So he was starting to kind of like, you could see his character start to like change. Like he didn't give a fuck anymore, and like it kept going on and on and on. And then when he started doing that, they hit him with the fucking child predator thing. Oh, you're touching little kids. The second that they caught on that he was trying to do like something like that, they decided like, oh, okay, well, let's try to like fucking ruin him. You know what I mean?
Yes, because that's one of like the rumors back in the day, was that Michael Jackson was like a pedophile, and because he's famous for the guy with, because he was famous for like hanging out with kids. Like he loved kids. Like he had friends as kids. Like he was friends with the Home Alone actor.
Yeah, but like there's nobody that ever came out.
Right,
Like the people who did come out ended up admitting later on that they lied and they were coerced into saying that about him.
Wow.
So no one's ever had anything on him. So like you would think that there would be a bunch of people right now, but there's nothing.
That's
And
true.
The people that were on testimony, they came on testimony, bro. That they were part of the case, and those kids now have broken off and said like they grew up now, right? It's been a long time ago. Now they're coming out and saying, oh yeah, no, like my parents told me to do this because they were promised like a bunch of money, which they probably honestly got that money. But you want to know a fun fact about the music industry, especially back in those days? It's still a thing today, actually. If you have the misfortune of dying now to your music label, you're worth more money. Not only because you're not existing anymore, but also because your catalog doesn't have a split. Well, actually, it does, but they just make more money from you. They have more ownership over everything that happens now, so they could just like, you're not in the way anymore. So somebody like Michael Jackson, but you go to the shopping mall right now, you're gonna hear Michael Jackson playing, and the labels are just making a fucking ton of money off of this guy, even when he's dead. So like to them, they don't really care. Oh, let's just get rid of him. He's a problem. Okay, cool. Get rid of him. It doesn't really matter. Like the trade is like, what are you looking up right now?
I'm trying to search a video of him exposing Sony, because like there's a video of him, like he was on a podium and he was speaking to a crowd of people.
You gotta get DuckDuckGo or something. It's like an unfiltered browser that what you look up, there's nothing blocking you from finding what you're looking for. But there's also so many creators that have like used this and like dug far and showed like all kinds of information. Who the fuck was I watching that was not just talking about Michael Jackson, but a lot of the people from that era? There was a lot of people in bands that were getting fucking rinsed. And that's like the real golden era of record labels. You know, they're selling discs, and records. Like, that's why they're called record labels. They were selling records in stores. Like, there was no streaming. So the artist would make like $1 on a $10 album, which is fucked. $1, dude. Like, imagine, like, you're blowing the fuck up and you're only getting paid like 10% of what you're making on a sale, and that's your main revenue. Then you go on tour and you make all this money, and you don't even get to keep that much of that either. And it's fucking ridiculous because you have a huge team to split that with, and record labels are notorious for managing all your studio time, the teams. So they'll book expensive shit at your expense. None of that is their expense. They might pay for it, but you owe them that. And it's all there. So record labels like pioneered that in those days. So they would take life insurance policies on an artist, and when they died, they would make money from the life insurance policy because it's a life insurance. That's what it's for. When someone dies, you get money. So there was actually some people that were died of out of nowhere, because Sony is much more of a big deal than like people think that it really is. It's one of the biggest provider of GBP for Japan. It's one of the biggest. They literally like control some of the government, I think.
Yeah.
Like it.
Because I know with Samsung, they pretty much, they're not only like, I mean, they're a technology company, but because of that, they're also like a military company.
Oh yeah.
I think they have their own military or something like that. But Samsung is pretty fucking big in I think in Korea. Because in Korea,
yeah, for sure, dude.
in South Korea, you're taught that if you work for Samsung, you're like successful. Like Samsung kind of owns South Korea. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, well, they have so much money, and then they bring that back to their home base. They definitely have like leverage. Let's just put it that way. Whatever the leverage is, you can start pulling. Because military, bro, it's just contracts. Really, like military contracts. That's what the politicians are involved. So you think Samsung can't just like do that, especially in their home base like that? They just like, fuck you. Like, we're gonna do whatever we want to do. Fuck.
That's what Elon's all about. Like, he's all about government contracts because of like Tesla. I think he has a military.
For SpaceX.
Okay, SpaceX, yeah.
It's military contracts? Government, probably, yeah. Well, he wants to create his own city.
Yeah.
And it would be interesting if he, like, created his own laws. Right? Because that's what you could do.
I think, because he spoke about this before, he wants to create an app for everything. Like, an app where you do your banking, your social media, like, everything you could think of.
That's going to be
doing.
X.
Yeah, that's his plan.
Yeah.
That's his plan with X. Like, he's on record talking about this like in the early 2000s. Like, he's talking about like he wants to create this platform called X, and the app of everything. It's kind of like of what they have in China, WhatsApp. Because WhatsApp, I think.
Oh no, it's
WeChat.
WeChat.
Yeah, WeChat. And WeChat, that's pretty much like an app for everything. They do everything in WeChat, right?
You can get a police ticket through it.
Damn.
If you jaywalk in the wrong place, man, and they have surveillance everywhere like that, and then they'll get you on that little camera that knows exactly who you are. They know where you're going. They know what you're wearing. They know where you live. They could know exactly who you are on that camera. They'll debit your fucking WeChat instantly. The second you cross that fucking sidewalk, you look at your fucking bank account and you already have your ticket. And then your social credit score is going to go down.
That's a sad reality. Fuck.
And then after that, you'll have a government agent. If you keep that up, man, you can have an agent coming to your house and saying, hey, man, you're a real piece of shit. You're a fucking dishonor to society. You better become a better person. Like, you're fucking up, dude. Like, that's kind of, honestly, I'm not going to lie, though. People, I feel like some people probably need a little kick like that. The government comes to your house and says, bro, you're fucking up. Do you want to like do better? Like what the fuck? Or like you're gonna end up at a C class if you keep this up. You know, like you don't want that because then you're permanent in that, and it takes you like an X amount of years to even. It's almost like going bankrupt, bro. But with a credit score.
Yeah. It's crazy because on paper, social credit score sounds great, right? You're like trying to like social engineer how people act in society, but like if you look at like what country is using it, it's not like it gets a bad image because it's a dictatorship using a tool. It's pretty much a tool for control. Yeah, another way you could look at it.
Well, if you look at it from a stance of like you want your society to be free of crime and you want order, then yeah. But if you want society to be real and free, and you want, because that's what being free is, right? Like a country that like we could base just the United States, the land of the free. Like these people will die protesting for their guns. Like they're gonna rally and storm the Capitol over it. You know what I mean? Like they'll fucking go crazy for their guns. And over here we're like getting reduced of that nonstop, and we don't care that much over here. But in China, it's like it's the same way that we don't care getting reduced of our guns. It's the same way that they're okay with like, yeah, it's just how it is, because everything works here and we're mega efficient. And why do you want to not follow the rule anyway? Like you're thought that, and you're ultra like, it's a different fucking mentality completely. But it's a good thing in a way. But when we look at it from outside, you're like, fuck, like these guys are all like slaves. No, they're not. They're fucking perfectly fine. But the people that end up in that though, it could be something could just happen. Like imagine like a regular bar fight. Like that could literally drop you into a C class. And then you're automatically like not able to go to school anymore. You can't even buy a car. You can't even qualify for apartments. And you have money. You might even get fired from your fucking job over that. Because that's a real fucking thing over there.
Like a real thing that's been happening with Chinese citizens is being blacklisted from airports. Like it's been a thing with journalists. Like journalists who like pretty much go against what the Chinese government is saying and get blacklisted. Like they can't leave the country. It's pretty crazy.
That's why like no person from there is really thinking about going against their country, because there's so much. I mean, it's public information that if you go against your country in China, you're gonna get a repercussion.
Yeah,
it's either light or it's extreme.
Because it's a communist country, and that's
everyone knows over there that people disappear.
A lot of billionaires have been disappearing and they reappear. So it's kind of a mystery. Like that was the thing with Alibaba, like the CEO,
Jack Ma.
Yeah, like he disappeared for a while, and people think that the Chinese government got to him.
Because he thought he was above them.
Yeah, because I think
thought he was too big for them.
I think if you're a business in China, like you have to be in the government. Like you have to have a relationship with the government, or else like I think they'll just take you down, like China.
Well, all the businesses over there, they're all related with governments.
Right.
It's like almost like the same thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The way that shit works over there is ridiculous. Like, not in a bad way, just like, it's very interesting because it's not like that here. But then you look at how long China has been around. It's insane. Like
they have they're, I think, the oldest culture ever, right?
So when you see what's happening there, it's like they had all that time. Like looking at my United States, it almost makes sense that the United States we're the biggest, right? We're number one. We have all this money, okay, but China's extorting you.
Yeah, true.
Like,
yeah,
we're gonna make everything
made in China.
They look at us like the dumb monkeys. You know what I mean? Like here, it's like if you look at old like comic books and shit, like from the '60s, or like cartoons, bro, like they mock Chinese like they're fucking stupid or something. You know what I mean? Like they're really making a fucking like, oh, they're squinty eyes or whatever. They're just like making them feel like they're like lower than the West. But bro, these are just a bunch of fucking cowboys slinging guns. Like these motherfuckers are ultra efficient and they're super advanced.
They invented paper. They invented the compass. They invented several things.
it's almost like
The Chinese.
it's almost like the aliens giving us technology.
Seriously, bro.
They're like, here, you guys are like, you need this. Like, here, take this and fucking figure out something else and make something good for us. And then we're gonna take that. Like all the military projects that the United States is doing, China's like, all right, copy paste. Literally, they're like, here, you go ahead, spend the research work. We're just gonna fucking, we have all the power to do it, to manufacture it. Go ahead, go make all your technology. We're just gonna rip it immediately. Like that's why it's like such a like Chinese spies and stuff. That's what they're trying to steal fucking technology and go bring it back to home base and like.
That's such a big problem. Like, in some universities and in some high schools in the United States, the teachers are warned, be careful for fucking Chinese spies. Like, this is a thing in the United States.
It's fucking insane, dude.
Like they're warned that your students or your coworkers could be a fucking spy from China, bro.
And it's like, the crazy thing is that when you hear that, it sounds like, oh my god, it's like what, James Bond or something? No, it's not even that. It's just a dude who's there to just send information back.
Right.
It's just another pawn in the system. There's probably a million of them around the world doing this, all controlled by the government.
For sure.
And they just, dude, like, what
Chinese
do you think
spies,
of,
bro?
It trips me out because I had my own experience with this. One of my roommates.
With a Chinese spy?
No, but now I'm thinking maybe he was, because he was so adamant about not talking about China. He was studying at McGill, just like a normal person. Like not at McGill. He was actually in Toronto. But then whenever I asked him that literally anything about China, not even like this weird conspiracy shit, just like anything, like, oh, what's it like over there? He's like, oh, I can't talk about China. That's super fucking weird. When you just like, imagine if I go to like France and then they ask me, oh, what's Canada like? I'm like, man, I can't talk about Canada. Like, what the fuck do you mean you can't talk about Canada? Like, what's going on? Like, why can't you talk about that? Oh, like, my government. What? So he never told me anything.
Dude, that's scary.
And then I just told him what I know, and he looked at me. He was like, yeah, no, I really can't talk about that, man. I was like, what the fuck? I wanted to know from the source, and this guy, I think I was too close to the source a little bit. Like, this guy has like, you can get cut the fuck off if like they come to find out that he's talking about China, bro. Like, I feel like Japan is like really interesting as well.
Yeah.
The way that they like spruced up their economy to become such a big deal. Like Japan,
because their bank had zero interest rates for a while. That's what boosted their economy.
and they were lending money to anybody who they were over lending as well.
Yeah.
So if you qualify here for like, let's say you qualify for $100,000 for your business, then they would give you like 300,000. They're like, you need money? Okay, well, you know what? We believe in you a lot. Here's a bunch of fucking money. Oh, and you keep repaying us, we'll lend you more money. So if you think about it, you're a business, you get $300,000 thrown at you by your government. You're either going to fail or not, but if you're smart, you could just get the money and use the money that you got to repay the money. And then they're going to be like, hey, you want more money? Yeah, okay, throw me some more money. And technically, you never run out of money if you just keep using the money they gave you to repay. And then they're like, hey, 6 months has passed. Do you want more money? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, give it to me. I'll just keep. It's like a pyramid scheme, but just for you.
Mm-hmm.
And they make money from lending you money because you're repaying them. So it cost them nothing. They created the money. It's like, all right, like they boosted the fucking economy like that because everything became extremely like developed because there's so much money involved and a lot of like there's a lot at stake. So they developed super fast. It's fucking incredible, actually. Everyone was getting super rich. Like that's why there's so much money in Japan, bro. Because like,
oh yeah, because technology industry.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, have you seen? I don't know if you pay attention to like the price of currencies.
Not much.
Not all of them, but just like, for example, Japan. The difference between Canada and the United States.
Not really.
Do you know the percentage difference?
No. But is it doing good?
It's like 35%, bro.
Damn, is that a lot?
Well, basically, $100 US is 100. It's basically 135 Canadian.
Okay.
It's and the thing is, just a couple years ago, I'm doing like the Trump, fucking like
the Trump.
Just a few years ago, like,
I can see you as Trump.
Like just like,
You get a lot of hate.
He does this like he's so funny with his fucking hands.
He's such a character.
He's amazing. Like I love how he just like the way he expresses himself and like he sits like he sits like this and his tie's like perfectly coming down and like he's arched like real good and stuff. Like his suit sits perfectly on him. Like it makes him look thin, like super like he's like leaning like this so that everything like comes down perfectly. Like I don't know, he has like a good like this guy is just a character from every inch of him. Like it's crazy. But fuck, what was I on about? Japan.
Oh yeah, Japan.
What about it though?
Their economy, it sucks, right?
No. Oh yeah. The currencies and stuff, bro. Okay, yeah. So
Because what I do know about Japan's economy right now is pretty stabilized. Like it's what do you call it? Like it hasn't increased, but it hasn't decreased. It's like at a stable level. Like it's like pretty boring.
I heard that like it's been decreasing.
Oh really?
Yeah, like right now it's the all-time low to go to Japan, like because everything is cheaper right now if you look at it from a different currency.
Okay.
Like if you think about your $100 American, let's say, just take $100 American, and then bring that around the world and see what it brings you. If you're going to a country that it keeps getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, it's basically like the same as inflation, right? You go somewhere where everything gets more expensive. Well, there's places where their stuff is devaluing, which makes their money like more useless. You know what I mean? So you bring your fucking expensive backed dollar that raises in value, like the US dollar.
Yeah, like that's kind of what's happening with the US dollar. Like we're just printing so much money that it's becoming worthless. Because there's just so much out there. Like that's just like a fundamental law, like physical law. Like once there's a lot of it, this decreased value with anything, right?
Well, if you look, do you think they're self-sabotaging the currencies right now?
For sure. That's what I think.
So that they can push it to like these like new like
I think it's just a game.
Decentralized, centralized currencies.
I think it's just a game to them.
Well, okay. Because the thing is, right? Like when they start rolling out the new currencies, it's gonna be like, hey, give us all your money now until this period, and we'll give you like the second that this shit comes out, we're just gonna back you on everything that you signed up. So if you're a big business, you're gonna make a smooth transition, but everybody else is just gonna be like, oh yeah, here we'll just advance everybody a bunch of money real quick so that you all stop complaining about it and just do it. Nobody's gonna complain about that. Okay, no more money. Okay, we're just gonna sign up for this app, and all of a sudden, oh, I need my thing on this, I need my thing on that, and like, oh, it controls the money that I spend. Like if you're wanted for the police, you just can't spend money anymore.
You're talking about CBDCs, central bank digital currency.
Yep.
That's crazy. Because I think I don't know if this is true or not, but like, if this CBDCs, the way it works is that the money in your bank account has an expiration date. Like they set an expiration date on your checking account, pretty much. Like you have to spend it in a certain amount of time. Like let's say I have $500 in my bank account, and they choose to have to spend it within 3 months.
3 days, dude.
Fuck, that's crazy, man.
That.
Imagine. But is that true or not? Is that factual?
Well, that would make it so that it'd be weird, right? Because how are you supposed to save money now? And by the way, there's no cash anymore. So now what? You know what? But look at all these governments buying gold, bro. They're like, fuck. We built money. Money was better than gold. But if we get rid of money, we need to get some gold or something. So fuck it. Let's buy gold. Let's buy silicon. Let's buy whatever the fuck.
Silicon.
Or like, you know, and then you could just start buying everything that really matters. And like, because the bank is just taking the money you put into the bank. So look, you have $1,000, you put it in. They're like, all right, cool. Where do we put that now? Gold, oil, this, that, whatever. Okay, just throw it around. Portfolio is like, now those are backed assets. Like, what the fuck's gonna happen to gold? Nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nothing's gonna happen to gold. But the money is fucking like all over the place. They printed like 80% of the entirety of the creation of money has been made in the last 5 years. That's crazy. Just 5 years, 80% of the money.
Yeah.
And everyone's still in the same position.
Crazy.
So what happened? Like, COVID happened. You know, like that's where they start printing money, giving money to everybody, and like bailing out a bunch of businesses that got fucked. And all these like COVID loans, bro. All the COVID fucking loans. Everyone took the loan.
Mm-hmm.
Here, we'll give you a shitload of money just to shut the fuck up and stay closed. We're gonna take your business from you. And by the way, you have to pay us back this money. It's a loan. But hey, it's 2.5%. So it's basically free money. To people who make money, to them that's free money. If you had a 2.5 or 3% rate on your loan, bro, those were the golden ages of finance for the everyday person. That's not a thing anymore, bro. Prime rate right now is 7.5%. That means the average consumer wishes. Oh man, I'm good, but okay. So the average consumer now, their wet dream is to get a 7.5% on any interest for like I'm talking about lending, any business basically, right? The average consumer, it's more like the average business is like a wet dream for them to get that kind of money. So like the economy just keeps like raising the stakes for everybody. Oh, you want money? Every business needs fucking money, bro. Like any restaurant, you think they're just fronting 50 grand on a kitchen? You know, like where do they get 50 grand from? Like they got to get the location, they got to get all these things. You could just finance everything. The government will help you with that. The banks are going to help, not the government, but the banks. So it all comes back to the economy and everything going up. So what happens when they start giving like the CBDCs and like basically choking you? How are you supposed to get up now? Where the fuck? So basically you almost have to buy, instead of like saving your money, you're gonna have to like invest in something. Everyone's gonna have to be doing that now. If you want to keep your fucking money, invest in something. And that's what we should be doing right now already. But we're so used to our money being there, even though it gets worthless every day, more and more worthless. It just keeps going down in value. More money keeps getting created. The inflation keeps going up. It buys less and less, and it's worth less and less. It's a double whammy.
It's a double whammy.
Double whammy, bro.
Fuck, I wanted to say something, but I forgot. I hate when that happens, when you're about to say something, but you just forget.
Dude, I gotta piss so bad
Yeah,
right now.
go.
So if you want to remember that,
Yeah.
you got a good minute there. I'm just checking in.
It's a show. For girl tickets.
The Bill Fan Show.
Bill Fan Show.
Not sponsored by Vietnam.
Out here exposing Trudeau.
He's not a Vietnamese spy.
Communist allies.
You are an independent Vietnamese.
I am an independent journalist.
The double whammy, bro. The double whammy.
What is that?
We're getting double whammied. Like it's like, you know.
By China?
No, inflation.
Oh, inflation.
Our own people.
That is
our own like leaders.
That is a problem, because I often hear this phrase that inflation is theft or something like that, right? Because in a sense, well, not in a sense, like in literal terms, your time is being taken, because of these price increases. It takes more time to make more money, right?
If you look at the average ratio to buy a house from like the 60s, for example, it was like 3 years of income. The average income, it took just 3 years to pay it off. Now I believe it's like
30 years, 60 years?
no. Not that much. I think it's like fucking like 18 or some shit like that, bro. Like it's more than 10 though. It's like probably like a dozen or something years of your income to pay off an average house with an average salary. So like the ratio has gone from like 3 years to like a dozen from the 60s. So that just tells you, just that by itself is like,
Double whammy.
that's the double whammy, bro. Because you're paying interest rates that are going up. You're paying for your life, that everything. Oh, damn. We're getting fucking
The communist,
hijacked, bro.
Communist Party, bro.
Oh, fuck. They're coming, dude.
You ever think about inflation?
So everything, the cost of living is going up. You have interest rates are going up. Property, everything is going up, and you're getting paid the same. You're getting paid the same. You know, like you're literally like, I get this much, they get that much, you get this much. You know, like that's pretty much the way it works. Actually, really funny if he was just like sweating. Like,
Isn't that crazy though that Trudeau is associated with blackface? That's crazy.
it should be his profile picture. Imagine if he got hacked and they just changed his profile picture to that. That'd be amazing.
He used to live here, right?
Yeah, he's pretty involved with Montreal.
Like before
That's his
Prime
home.
Minister. I think he lived in Montreal.
Where is he now? He's just all over the place.
Ottawa, yeah, but pretty much all over the place. But his home station is Ottawa, where the Parliament is. His homeboys.
Parliament.
His homeboy Pierre Poilievre.
The WEF boys.
Dude, I really think Pierre Poilievre is gonna become Prime Minister. Ever heard of Pierre Poilievre?
Yeah, I think so.
So he's the leader of the Conservative Party, right? But the crazy thing is that most Canadians have never heard about this guy.
Which party?
The Conservative Party. Oh shit.
God damn it, dude. The Conservative fucking party, bro.
Yeah, and dude, this guy just makes sense. Like it really seems like he's gonna win.
Is he a good guy?
I have no idea, but he sounds smart. He speaks good. He's sharp. Like he fits all the criteria of leadership. But I don't know if this guy is legit or corrupt. I'm pretty sure there's some corruption involved. But like,
You never know.
you never know.
A little bit.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's always some.
I'm not gonna lie. I do like Pierre Poilievre. Like, I would like to see Canada like being under the leadership of him, because like he's such a he would make a great leader, bro. Like what the fuck? He fits all the criteria. Like he's handsome.
I
He
wonder if I
speaks
know
well.
him.
Yo, he speaks so fucking
Can you,
well,
can
bro.
you look him up real quick?
Yes.
Because I feel like
I follow him on Instagram. I just
Yeah?
yeah, I know who he is now.
Let's watch clips of him, because like everything he says, bro, like, and he's so like adamant of exposing Justin Trudeau's corruption, because like he's
which country's paying you
there's
to
so-
say that?
there's so many misspending of taxpayer dollars. Like it's fucking crazy. Like there's a story about him spending $200,000 on airplane food, like on his private jet. Like that's nuts, and on taxpayers' expense. Like
How much do you think he's spent on just nuts?
like 10K.
Yeah, probably on just like expensive airplane nuts, bro. Like they'll sell it to you for a lot of money. And it's Trudeau, so they're definitely gonna charge him. They're like, oh, the government's paying for it? Okay. Comprehensive package, sir. It'll be an extra $1,000. All the food's on the house though. Okay. You're basically just paying the extra government $1,000 for your flight just to get the comprehensive package, and they're just rinsing you.
Okay, here's a debate on affordability carbon tax.
After 9 years
this
of this
guy,
NDP
yeah.
Liberal Prime Minister's taxes debt, inflation, and promises, Canadians are hungry. Literally, according to the Bank of Canada, the Food Banks Canada report, 50% of Canadians say they're worse off than a year ago. 25% are in food insecurity, and a quarter of young adults went to a food bank in 3 months alone this year. Why is it that Canadians who can't feed themselves have to keep feeding his morbidly obese government?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, it would be slightly more credible to hear the Conservatives concerned about the challenges Canadians are facing if they hadn't stood and voted against more spaces in childcare, voted against our dental care program that 2 million
He got fatter,
seniors have signed
like
up
his
for
face.
and has now delivered close to 100,000
It got inflamed.
dental appointments for seniors.
Too much cocaine, bro.
Too much meat, bro.
They've also stood against our school foods program that's going to help 400,000 more kids across the country have full bellies as they start their school day. These are investments that they're opposed to, that we are there to help Canadians with.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, it's a school food program that has not served a single solitary meal, even though it was promised 3 years ago. What he's feeding is bureaucracy, not children. And if all of his spending were working, then why is it that Food Banks Canada reports today that 25% of young adults had to go to a food bank in 3 months alone, and 2 million Canadians are lined up every month? Mr. Speaker, with so many empty stomachs, isn't it just a little bit wacko to be raising carbon taxes on farmers and food?
What was you gonna say about that?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we announced the National Food School program in the budget, and just after question period today, the Conservatives have an opportunity to vote in favour of that National School Food program and other initiatives that are going to help hundreds of thousands
Dude,
of
he
kids
just
across
repeating
this
what he just said
country,
before.
and indeed millions of Canadians with
I
the
hate
high
how he
cost
does
of
that.
living.
He has a
But
script.
He's going to stand there and vote against
He
it,
goes on
Mr.
all
Speaker,
scripts.
to prevent it from delivering the help
He's not even
Canadians
addressing
need.
what the
We will
guy
keep
said. He's just
going
saying
on
what he has to
delivering
say.
support for Canadians, and we will keep going on putting more money in the pockets of 8 out of 10 Canadians with our price on pollution that supports Canadian families and successfully fights climate change.
Pause. Holy shit, dude. He just like slipped his thumb up everyone's ass right now. He's like, did you see what he just said right now? He's
What?
like, we're going to succeed at charging everybody more for their pollution, and we're going to save the population. We're going to save the environment. He just said that right now. Rewind the last like 10 seconds of what he just said and just pay attention to what he said. No, not that far back.
Other initiatives that are going to help hundreds of thousands of kids across this country and indeed millions of Canadians with the high cost of living. But he's going to stand there and vote against it, Mr. Speaker, to prevent it from delivering the help Canadians need. We will keep going on delivering support for Canadians, and we will keep going on putting more money in the pockets of 8 out of 10 Canadians with our price on pollution that supports Canadian families and successfully fights climate change.
Wait, pause that. Do you know what that means, bro?
No, I have no idea what that means.
He just said we're going to put money in 8 out of 10 Canadians' pockets by charging them for pollution tax.
Right.
So your car, the gas and everything, you're paying a pollution tax.
Right.
So he's like, basically, he just completely like slipped his thumb inside everyone's ass by saying like, hey, this is amazing. I'm charging you for the pollution. But I'm going to put money in your pocket. I'm going to save you guys. You know how many like really highly paid people wrote that script for him? It's meticulously crafted to sound like that.
You know, we could watch. Me and you could go to Ottawa and watch like this.
Oh my
like
god!
There's like I don't know what you call it, but like there's like an upper floor where people could watch. Like journalists usually go there, but people like us could go and watch the debates and shit.
Then you get followed home with a black SUV. And that's over after that, bro. Like you're laying in the hen's nest.
Yeah. But Pierre Poilievre, right? Like that guy seems like a leader.
Yeah.
Trudeau seems like he's struggling a bit because he's also getting criticism by his own party. Like his own cabinet are trying to replace him because of what happened in the by-election in Toronto, because they lost it, because there was like an election in Toronto, and the conservative party won. And the reason why is a big deal because like it's like a major area, right, Toronto, and the Liberal Party controlled that area for like over 30 years. And now because people think it's because of Trudeau, right? So like that's why the Liberal Party are scared now, because they think they're going to lose the next election and the Conservative Party is going to win. And they're trying to replace him, but like Trudeau is a bit too ambitious.
He's a little bit too. He's a little bit too.
Want to keep watching this while we smoke this fat joint?
Yeah.
Because this is pretty entertaining to me. Because I've been to the House of Commons with in a guided tour.
This room right here.
Yes, and it's pretty fucking fascinating.
Who's the dude in the back standing up on top of
He's
everyone?
the House Speaker. His name is like fucking. He's the new one. He's the new House Speaker because the other House Speaker got blamed for inviting a Nazi to the House of Commons. Remember that scandal?
I don't.
You don't?
A Nazi came to the.
Because there's this Ukrainian event, like trying to like celebrate Canada's relationship with Ukraine in the Russian conflict, right? And someone invited this Nazi, and they did a standing ovation for this guy.
What the fuck, bro?
And it became news because the House of Speaker had to resign because of this
Dude,
whole.
that's so fucking crazy.